Last week, I didn't play any tennis. And as any tennis player knows, this can make you feel like you haven't picked up a racket in years. So when I got back on the court, my serve was not great. I was off rhythm, missing my timing, and I wasn't able to find any consistency in my practice session. That's when I remembered. I teach tennis. I can give myself a lesson and use Jannik Sinner as my coach. To be clear, Jannik Sinner was coaching me through comparison. I'd love to meet him, but I didn't get to. I've always felt like there are some similarities in our service motion.
So I studied Jannik Sinner's serve. I slowed it down, went frame by frame, and made sure I knew what was setting us apart.
That way, I was going to figure out how to get my serve looking like Jannik Sinner's.
So when looking at our serves, what are the differences?
The first thing I personally noticed is that I was taking my foot way further across the line than Jannik was. Where Jannik Sinner steps up behind his front foot, I was stepping up beside mine. I know this is a mistake. The next thing I noticed was the difference in our toss placement. Jannik Sinner's toss was higher, but not as far into the court as mine, which was lower than his toss. And finally, the leg drive. The difference is night and day. You can see how high Jannik gets on that leg drive, whereas I'm not getting anywhere near as high as him while I'm serving. I thought I'd leave the areas to improve at 3, just so I'm not thinking about too much when I go to serve next. I decided to get back on the court to serve and tackle the first mistake, which I knew was a big one, my step-up stance. So I did a couple practices to make sure I had it right, and then, wow, I've already cut out one bad habit.
Great. Let's move on to the next one.
My next area was to increase my toss height and decrease my toss depth. This will allow me to drive higher into my serve and into the toss instead of driving into the court. And after a couple serves, this was working well too. The final thing was the leg drive. And this wasn't something I expected myself to improve in a day. It requires a lot of on and off court training to be able to get the kind of leg drive that Jannik Sinner gets on his serve. It's pretty phenomenal. But on the day, I did see a small amount of improvement. I was tossing higher, so I was more focused on pushing up higher with my legs as I was serving, getting some more distance off the ground because of my new leg drive. I noticed that because I changed where my toss was placed, I was driving upwards with my legs more because I was trying to reach for a higher toss closer to me. I find this a lot easier than to drive laterally, so I was able to get more drive with my legs just by changing my tossing position.
But what also could have happened is that I was thinking about my leg drive as I was serving, and so when I'm trying to push through the ground with my legs, I'm able to use my kinetic chain more efficiently, getting higher off the ground.
So now my serve has changed from this to this.
Pretty good for an hour's work, if you ask me.
Now this was easy for me to do because I'm a tennis coach who knows what to look for. But for someone who's stuck not knowing how to improve their serve, this can be really difficult. Well, I've got a solution for you. If you join my free Skool community, I can give you feedback on your serve for free. You'll just send in a video and I'll be able to show you what parts of your serve you can improve on. This is the exact method I use when I want to give my students feedback, and so many tennis players are already improving inside the community. I also have multiple free tennis courses in that community as well. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description, join up, and I'll see you inside the community.